All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting. They're the best in the business, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. If I needed a roof, I'd call them. I'm sure Mark would call them too, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. Give us a call right now on the Borders and Borders hotline, 412-575-2600. And I want to clear things up right now. And I was just talking to Mark. I said I needed to get my hair cut, and he said, what are you going to get highlights? I want on the record. I do not. You said, are you going to dye your hair? I do not dye my hair.
Yeah, he does.
This is natural.
He does. I saw him in the Just for Men now.
This is natural.
I've never seen a guy so worried about his own hair during the break. He's like, what's going on here? It's sticking up right here. There's not one gray spot in there. There's no doubt in my mind you dye that hair.
All right, we're taking your phone calls. You can even call about my hair if you want, 412-575-2600. We got Ricky out in Fairchance. What's up, Ricky? How you doing?
Hey, Richie, what's going on?
Hey,
By
thanks
the way,
for
love the
calling.
hair.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
When Corey Dickerson comes back, we got too many outfielders. Who you getting rid of, Reynolds or you keeping Cabrera? What are we going to do?
You know what? That's a good decision to have. I don't want to get rid of either one of those guys. And thanks a lot for your call, Ricky. I mean, Brian Reynolds has come in here, and he's really been a rookie phenom right now. And this is the guy, this is your future. You know, maybe the best thing to do is, Melky Cabrera, he's a good bat. You got to keep him as a bench player. I think you got to keep both guys, really. But what they'll probably do is send Brian Reynolds down. They don't want to start his clock. They'll send him down and Corey Dickerson, and maybe try to trade Corey Dickerson, depending on where they are, because they know that Brian Reynolds can do the job.
And who says that Dickerson's going to, pick up where he left off, or at least early on last year? I mean, Reynolds has options. I mean, so of course he's going to be the one who goes down, regardless if he deserves to go down or not.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move on Jung Ho Gung or someone like that.
What is he, like 0 for his last 23?
Yeah, he's batting like 100. I mean, it's a mental thing
he's
right
so
now.
Cheap.
Yeah, $3 million.
It's really going to kill you.
No, it's not. I mean, I guess you could DFA him. There's a lot of things they can do, but it's a good problem to have. I think they're a few weeks away, and who knows what can happen. There could be another injury. But I would keep Brian Reynolds up here. I'm glad they kept him up here over Jason Martin. I think that they need to keep Brian Reynolds, but they also need Melky Cabrera's bat. You need that bat on the bench, in the lineup every few days, because this team right now is struggling for offense.
Especially if you have any chance of competing in the division heading down the stretch. You want that veteran type of guy out there as well. Plus, there's a guy, too, that, say you get to July and he's still playing well, might be able to bring some return back where if there's a team looking for a bench guy, for a cheap, and you could get a couple bucks or whatnot.
Reynolds is the future. Corey Dickerson, I don't think isn't, unless they maybe work out a long-term deal with him. But you have Jason Martin, you have Reynolds, you have two young guys coming up. Then you have Polanco and Marte. They're signed for a while now. So I think they look to deal Dickerson if he is healthy. I would guess that's kind of the Pirates' MO. But who knows? They could suffer more injuries. You got to think about Eric Gonzalez is coming back too. So what are you going to do with Cole Tucker? They have some options right now. All right, let's back out to the phone line. Just got to Pete in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Pete? How you doing?
Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling, Pete.
Thank you. Hey, Mark, this is specifically for you. You seem like the football guru.
He is.
He
is guru.
This NFL draft, all the hype, all the talking heads that cover football, giving grades to every organization, a B+, a C-. Isn't it dependent upon when Sundays roll around in September to see what impact these guys have on the actual game? I just don't understand that. It's just stupid to me. What do you think? Thank you.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid to be able to grade somebody right after. But if you look and how we do it at The Athletic, we have a lot of metrics in our stories. So if you write stuff that is grade related to the draft, you could tell people are very interested in reading it, and that's why you see so many of them. However, it's so unfair. I mean, you're talking immediately after the draft to be able to assess the draft. You can't do that. The rule of thumb is you look at least 3, 4, maybe 5 years back, then you could be able to tell who's actually won the draft. In my opinion, I think the Steelers do it well, is if you all absolutely hit that number 1 pick the majority of the time, and then you sprinkle in some winners after that, I think that's a successful draft, and I think the Steelers are doing it well over that case. I mean, you could say Jarvis Jones was not a good pick or whatnot, but yeah, the draft grades, people like to read them, but they don't mean anything.
We talked about this, I think, a couple weeks ago when you were on the show. Troy Polamalu. Do you remember who else was in that draft? And who
I
cares,
do.
really? I know you probably do. Alonzo Jackson, right?
J.T. Wall, you remember him?
Yeah, I remember J.T. Wall. Alonzo
Brian
Jackson,
St. Pierre.
wasn't he in it?
Brian St. Pierre, he might still be in the league.
But it doesn't matter. Like, most people wouldn't know that draft, but they know Troy Polamalu. So if you hit big on Devin Bush, you don't remember anyone else.
I mean, look at 2010. That wasn't the most spectacular draft other than Marquise Pouncey at 1 and Antonio Brown at 6, but those are two major picks in that draft that made that draft unbelievable. There is no more 1974 Steeler drafts out there. You know, 4 Hall of Famers in the first 5 picks. This is too scoured over that you're not going to get people like John Stallworth falling to the 4th round. So you're never going to see that again, that's for sure.
Has it ever been done before? I mean,
no, I don't even think it's close.
Yeah. I don't think so either. I know
we all know the reason why is because the Steelers were one of the forefronts of you know, going down to the historically black colleges and finding people there while everybody else was just ignoring them. So you can get Stallworth in the 4th.
Yeah.
You can get Mel Blount in the in the 3rd and 4th rounds. You can get guys like that. You can't do that now.
There's no secrets out there now. All right, let's go out to John out in Scott Township. What's up, John? How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks for calling.
I'm wondering about the open tryout that the Steelers are having. The only way any of these guys are going to make the team is on special teams squad. And I'm just amazed that the Steelers haven't changed the special teams coach. Their special teams have been absolutely terrible. And how do you justify the changes they've made and still keeping the same coach?
Hey,
I
Mark,
don't care what guys you bring in.
thanks a lot, John. I mean, I think first and foremost it's the players, but I'll let you answer this question.
Yeah, first of all, you can't blame a guy like Danny Smith for Chris Boswell's failures. And
No.
Jordan Berry struggled early. He's not going to be able to do anything about that. However, you do have a point when the team is highly penalized in the kick and punt returns. I mean, that is your responsibility. So, I mean, I think Danny Smith is very good what he does. However, special teams coaches yell a lot. And people tend to ignore them after a while, and that's why you see so much turnover. Maybe the Steelers are at that point. I bet you this is the last year if Danny does not get this turned around that maybe he will be gone next year. Even though he's a heck of a guy.
Yeah, I like Danny a lot. And, the one fault I have with maybe you could blame on coaching is sometimes you find these guys, they don't know the rules. And it's happened a couple times where it has cost the Steelers.
What was it, the Switzer one last year?
Yeah, it was the Switzer one.
Bounce?
Yeah. So
But isn't that the coach's responsibility to tell you?
that's what I think.
But maybe
so.
he did and they weren't listening to you.
Maybe. All right. Thanks for your call, so we're taking a break. Back in a couple minutes with more of your phone calls, maybe some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.